Thank you so much for tuning in to She's All Over the Place with Katie. That's me.
Welcome to She's All Over the Place. Thank you so much for being here, rocking and rolling. Hope you're staying healthy and safe. Today we have a special artist. His name's Carlos Luna James, and he's a designer and a multimedia artist who ranges from the art direction, animation, and motion graphics design for marketing of movies and television shows to creation of one-of-a-kind sculptural installations. Wow, isn't that so amazing? How cool. You're going to be so excited and you're going to be filled with so much impactful information on today's episode. Also, Carlos is an NFT artist, and we're going to dive deep into the space of what that means. What is NFT, and what does it mean to be an NFT artist? We're here to inspire you. We're here to make an impact so you can take actionable steps in your life, no matter what it is. So through ethics, morals, and values, through good intention, through being inspired, through art. And it's such a blessing to be a human being. And it's such a blessing to have culture and to communicate and share our evolution. And we're here to break generational trauma and to build our community and to honor one another. So with no further ado, I'm going to welcome Carlos to the show. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Katie. Appreciate the invitation. And my name is Carlos Luna James. Like you already mentioned, I'm a designer, I'm a crypto artist, and an NFT practitioner. And I'm very happy to be here.
Yes. So let's just go straight for it. Where are you from? And tell us some things about where you're from and what you're most passionate about from your country.
I'm from Mexico, specifically from Ciudad Juarez, the border in between El Paso, Texas, and Mexico, Chihuahua, the state. I'm going to tell you something about Juarez that I love. And this is in the world. It's something that is very unique and it is out everywhere that we don't know. And probably most people don't know about it. And if you like burritos, you know the burritos born in Juarez?
I didn't know that, but I love burritos.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So burritos born in Juarez for people that probably don't know. And also another thing is that margaritas born in Juarez too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So those are two things that I love about Juarez and that most of the people don't know and eat or drink, don't know where they come from. And those are two little things from there.
Legendary. I mean, everyone loves a burrito and a good margarita.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. And then where were you educated?
So I raised in Juarez. Then when I was 18, I moved to Guadalajara in the center of Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I studied design there, and I got in love with the culture and the folkloric traditions of Mexico. Because when you live in a border, it's kind of like a weird culture. It's kind of like the double culture. You don't get to have like the folkloric tradition of the center of Mexico, and you don't get to have like the American. So it's like, and also like it's a very interesting place because there is a lot of traveling, especially people that wants to move to America and people that comes from South America. And a lot of the sad thing about it is that a lot of people don't make it to cross the river because that's where they pass. And it's pretty dangerous. People, or they send it back or stay there. And they already put a lot of effort and money and they to get there, that when they get back, they stay in Juarez and like homeless, and which is one of the things that
that you grow up with, and it was always in your face all the time. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So how did that affect you as a human being on a psychological level and, your pathway for life then? Did you want to make a stand in some way to make a change, or did it enrage you? Like how was that for you emotionally?
Emotionally, I think I really I always grow with like seeing all these and like Juarez. It's the people in Juarez is like very, very lovable and he's very kind. And but also in the other side, like because it's a border, there is a lot of like the cartels and all that stuff that it's kind of like crazy. So
scary.
It's scary in a way. So
yeah, fear-based, scary.
Yeah. It's kind of like that. So to me, growing up, I never see myself like living my life there. Never. Since kids, I always wanted to get out, and when I have the opportunity, I did it. Like, and also like one of the things that I always wanted to do is being an artist, and
always, you just always knew you wanted to be an artist.
Yeah, since forever. I wasn't good at school. Yeah, I wasn't good at school at all. I always doodling, doing other stuff. I always like.
I was being sent to detention. I was like, I don't belong in a public school. I belong in an art school. I would get in trouble and I would just be doodling because I'd be so bored with like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you were doodling. You started off doodling. You're
like, my mom still have like, because at nights I couldn't like, I suffer from insomnia. So at night, my mom has like the blankets in my bed. All doodle because I was like drawing on the blankets and like suddenly making a CD with characters and there and that. And I'm like in the morning, like, what have you been doing? Like you've been just drawing and doodling here? Like, no. And I always told my mom and my dad like I wanted to go to classes to that are art classes or painting. And it's very difficult in a way doing that over there because the culture is like you have to be a lawyer or a doctor, and like they never give me that supportive. But instead, like they put me because I was like super hyper kid also, and I was so they always putting me in like football or karate. Or swimming, I swim since
to get that energy out. I was a cross country runner.
Yeah, I was swimming in the Olympic pool from when I was 8 to probably 18 or 19. When I left to go to Guadalajara, I stopped like swimming, but I was in the team and swimming every day. So every day, 2 hours a day, every day.
Oh, so good for the body. So good. Yeah. So through your education and your degrees, what are your degrees in your education?
So I did a kind of like a diploma thing, like a short before going to study my career. So I did this. I always being very independent. So I wanted to work when I doing something that I really love, and I work in like everyone in small stores and stuff like that. But I wanted to do something that it was related to art. So I did this what is it called? It's like a diploma degree, small, for doing like a graphic design for a year while I was studying also high school. So I graduated from that little thing, and then I start like at the time like I can do a little bit of graphic design. So I start doing like flyers and at the same time I was doing music events. Like kind of like a raves in Juarez, like building the community of
I grew up going to underground parties in Detroit before DJs were popular in Western civilization. I mean, I have some really cool DJ stories.
Yeah,
all the best DJs from around the world. All the best DJs from around the world. They would come to you. You'd be like there with all the DJs. Cool.
Exactly.
So you were the one. I have a box. I have 2 shoe boxes full of flyers, and they were the coolest flyers. One of them was actually that purple color on the screen for the listener who's listening. If you pop over to the Sophisticated Psychos YouTube channel, you'll be able to see the visual of what we're doing. And Carlos has an amazing graphic design that he created as his backdrop. It's so cool. I need him to do one for me, and it can be tagged, and I'll tell everyone, it's my boy Carlos. You got to go check it out. But it's called, I think it was called like F the System. I think it was called F the System, and it was like all the DJ lineup, and it was like purple. It was one of my favorite parties. But I kept all those flyers. I have them in 2 shoe boxes. I'm not even kidding.
No, me too.
Find those ones. You were the. Oh my God!
I was doing it like that, and in 1997, 1998, 1999.
That's when I was going to parties. Hello. So just because it was
like
back then, how much did you get paid for those flyers?
Nothing, probably like a little bit, like nothing. Yeah, but we used to bring like big names like Sacha, John Digweed, Paul Oakenfold, to the Juarez, to this small place, like people that don't know, like the story is like crazy, like how like in Mexico, a crazy town, in small town, all those DJs wanted to come over there and we make the greatest parties and have a lot of fun, and it was crazy.
My very first tour, I was a dancer for Area 1. It was Area 1. Do you remember Area 1? And I was the sole dancer for Paul Oakenfold. I met his childhood friend and photographer, Grant Fleming from London. And they saw me in Detroit at the party. And I went backstage and I met Paul. We were in the trailer and I was with my girlfriend, Christina Aguirre-Stritis, very Greek, from Greece. Anyway, we were there and they're like, yeah, come. And the next day we're going to Chicago. And then they flew me to LA and I was his dancer in the middle of his show, Paul Oakenfold, when I was a teenager.
We were like pretty young and we were pretty young and Detroit has the best house music and
Bad Boy Bill from Chicago is
of course.
Like I met Bad Boy Bill when I was 17 years old. I went to Chicago. I knew he was going to be there. That's why I went. And we befriended one another and I've just been along his journey ever since. And I want to collaborate and do something. We haven't done something yet, but maybe we could do something where he does the music and I curate it and you do the art on an NFT. Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be amazing. Imagine. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. With the best house DJ in the world, Bad Boy Bill. Bad Boy Bill.
You just bring me to some great memories. So I was doing that. So I went to Guadalajara to study. I studied design, which it's in a Jesuit College, private college. And I'm going to tell you a little bit back. So my parents didn't help me it's kind of like they don't have the money to put me in a private school. Especially in Mexico, it's like super hard, and,
of course.
And you don't have. So I was like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pursue this dream. So I went there, I applied, I accepted, but then I have to do something. So the good thing is that I was a designer, graphic designer. Well, I can do. So I pay all my college there, graduate from the college as a designer, which it's interior design, graphic design, industrial design, but I specialize on graphics. So right after I graduate, my wife got pregnant. So I'm graduating with my wife with a belly and then no money. And then with a debt in college, still a debt in college because and also like in Mexico, it's like even harder because it's super expensive. And so
the systems that's falling apart that doesn't work.
Exactly. So it was pretty tough. So what I did is like at the time I published a magazine that was publishing in Guadalajara, in Mexico, Monterrey, in 3 different parts, and in Tijuana. So So
congratulations! So is it a digital magazine?
So it was pretty fun because it was a print magazine that it was one poster and it was folded into a square. I probably have it there. I'll show you later. So in this magazine, you will open it and unfolding it like this, but it was like designed in a way where it was like, and the idea was like, how the web works, right? Like you move it from here to here, and then you move it down. So you open it like this, and then you open it down, and then you're opening until. And it was the idea of like, the web works like that. Well, we have to make a kind of like a magazine that is not like like you just read it like that. You have to read it like that,
Boring.
but also
like the Matrix, like the Rubik's Cube.
exactly. So when with that, I started inviting another designers and artists that now are pretty well known, and to create the poster. So the incentive is like you have a magazine, but also you have a piece of art.
Yeah.
So in the back, you have like, I don't know, if, like artists like, I don't, let me bring you someone that is known, designer. Joshua Davis, you know, if you know, it's a well-known designer. Right now it's in the crypto art, and also he has done a lot of crazy art with, so he created, like back in the day, he created like this code in Flash in AS3, where the algorithm creates pieces of art. So back in the days, it was super revolutionary. Like we're talking about 2003, 4, something like that, where wow. Flash was like the thing for animation, you know?
Cool.
So everything was...
Send me his profile.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I'll know his work or not.
He's amazing. He does now also NFTs, and he has worked for a lot of with DJs and also too. So he's amazing. So well, we have this piece of art, but at the time that magazine wasn't giving me like the financial stability that I needed to survive with my wife and my their upcoming baby that I was going. So I talked with my wife, and then we said, like, let's go back to El Paso. Let's see if you get a job over there while you keep publishing the magazine, and our baby born in America, in the United States. Mm-hmm. So okay, let's do it. So we moved. I rent a house over there. Never got a job while I was over there, and I was keeping doing the magazine, but I got to the point where all my earnings start like going and leaving, and I'm not earning anything. So one of my biggest dreams was to come to LA and be, work as a designer and artist. So my daughter born, yeah.
I was gonna say, so did you just snap your fingers and all of a sudden you started working at Fox?
Oh, something like that, right? It was something like that.
Just snap your fingers and that's what happened.
So if it's too long the story, we can short it. But I'm gonna continue like chronological, so you know where we started.
Please.
And where
Definitely. It's all about the journey.
Exactly. That's the most interesting part. I love it.
So for the listener, be patient. We're going to get there, okay? Just so you know, that's where we're going. We're just giving you the psychological journey, because the why and how is so important. It's so important to understand the process as the individual artist, because we all have our own journey, you know? So it's like 0 to hero, A to Z. So yes, please continue. And
sometimes you think like, how did he do it? Where is he? Why is he did it? Like, because they didn't see the work that it took to take there.
And so many people leave that out, you know? Some people just get to like, they cut and dry and they leave that part out. But she's all over the place. That's what it's about. It's about doing the unexpected and dive deeping into things that are unknown. So yes. Okay. The floor is yours, or the mic.
Thank you. So we talk, my wife and I, my daughter born, and I'm having like the most anxiety in my life, you know, like I have a lot of responsibility. I don't have money, and the money is going, and I don't have anyone to support me whatsoever. Or I'm start like, and I have a debt in school. So, or I start doing something like radical that change my life completely, or I'm going to go into a hole, like, or I'm going to ending just working for McDonald's or something, or I don't know, a clothing store or something like that.
Free Big Macs, right?
Free Big Macs forever. Yeah. So she said like, okay, let's do it. Save this money, take it with you. And I'm going to my mom's house, which, by the way, we're not from the same city. So she's from Tampico, which is in the Gulf, and I'm from the north in the border. So I'm going to, and that was like a huge thing to me. Like now I'm gonna go to LA. I don't have anyone over there. I have a little bit of money. I don't know anyone. the internet wasn't the internet that we live in right now. The iPhone doesn't exist right at the time. So I have a map in my hands. I have places that I wanted to work. I listed out. I full out my trunk full of food cans, and I'm going into a drive with a huge dream. And the biggest dream was do something there in order to bring my family with me, you know? And because I don't want to be like a lot of people that goes there and then it takes 1 year, takes 2 years, and then they're just sending money to Mexico and supporting their family. And then, no. So,
and it's not even 1950s. We're talking about the 2000s here.
We're talking about the 2006, 2007.
How long were you separated for?
Thanks God, we were separated for a month and a half.
Wow, lucky you. I was gonna say, I was like, oh, that would have been heart wrenching.
I
probably felt like 3 years. Geez.
Like it was terrible. So I'm driving and I'm like scared AF, Like I'm super scared because I don't know where I'm going. I know that my English is not the best, but I know that I can pass and communicate in a way. And I know that I have a background in design, and I know that I can offer something, right? So I can offer at least something, and it's better to go full and do it than wonder. Mm-hmm. So I went. I'm gonna take it shorter. I slept in my car. There were days where I literally jump into apartments to dive into a pool and take a shower, kind of like just jump, and then go into my car again, and then go to knock doors. And
which year was this?
2007, 2006 or 7. 2007.
Oh my God, I wish I knew you. I would have given you a place to live. I was in LA nonstop then.
So,
oh man.
I don't know. Well, things happen for a reason, and we know each other now, and we have a better plan, and we much better. And I love those because I love all these, and I will do it again because it builds me in a way completely. And like my backstories from kid and to young age and doing all that stuff helped me a lot, and seeing like what I see in my hometown helped me to overcome all the fears that I have. Good. And being disciplined with even if my parents didn't put me into art, they keep me doing a very disciplined person and very methodic. I was going every day to like all those things. I was going every day to swimming. I never, even if the school was the worst and I went into different schools because I was kicked out, that thing kept me in focus all the time. So that helped me to overcome all those things. And then I got my first job, which is the best thing. But the best thing is that I have that job. But the worst thing is that they pay me like nothing. Like I couldn't live here. So I got my first job as a junior designer, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna bring my wife, and then I'm start checking like how much the apartments are, and then the like apartment with 2 bedrooms, apartment with 1 bedroom, a studio, and kind of like a loft, like super small studio that I can afford, and I can bring them. So I live in a motel for a couple of days, and then I bring them, and then we live in a hotel for weeks. And then I got my first studio that I can afford. Culver City.
Oh, yeah. Love Culver City.
Culver City. And then because I got a job in Marina del Rey.
Oh, I love Marina del Rey. I've lived there. Yeah. Right on the water. My friend had a condo there. Yeah, my friend had a condo there, and I lived there for a while.
Beautiful. I love Marina del Rey. Yes. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
Yeah. Good energy.
Yeah. So it was like that. So then while I was there, keep working, and then I moved to another agency, and then from that agency.
So you got representation as an artist. You got with an agency.
Well, no agency like a studio agency for work. Okay. Not but then I got an agent too to bring me projects. So I got the first one, then I got the second one, and then I got an agency that bring me projects and keeps me for the next adventure on another.
So as a freelance artist, and you have an agent representing you.
Yeah, later on. Like after I was in my first job, I was for a year, and then I moved to another place for another year, and then from there I started freelancing in different places. I freelanced for Universal, for Disney, for Sony, Paramount. I was working as a freelancer, going there for months and then leaving. And then I got into another studio working there. And then what happened is that the economy got the devaluation of in the 2010.
Yeah.
Remember, there was like a lot of studios broke, and it was like the economy wasn't really good.
Yeah.
2010.
I think the writer's strike
or 11,
2008.
nine, something like that.
Remember the writer's strike and the whole business went flippy floppy.
Exactly.
It broke out. Yeah.
So I got laid off. Then
a lot of people got laid off. So many people got laid off. Oh my gosh. It was very difficult.
It was a very difficult year.
Yeah, for a lot of people.
Then I'm freelancing, and then I got a call from Fox.
Nice.
And at the time,
they found you.
They found me. I got a call, and they told me that one of the art directors needs to. So by then, I already am an art director. So I was working as an art director in all these places. So I got the call from Fox, and then I'm like, okay, for a week, let's go, let's do it. So I'm going there, and only as a designer, as an art director, but only design, no animation, no motion graphics. And then I'm like, just designing. I got bored, and then I talked with the producer. You know what? I can do animation. I can do motion graphics. I can do everything. Like, let's.
I'm a leader.
Whatever.
Let's go. I'm a leader. Let's do more.
So she told me like, okay. And then they told me. So my project for a week was done. And then I left. I was in an agency, and then working in another agency, like a marketing agency for movies, for marketing movies. And I'm there, and then I'm not doing anything. I'm just like wasting my time there. Oh. But they're paying me for a couple of weeks. And then I got again the call from Fox, and then, can you come again for another week? And then I'm like, oh, but I'm working here. But let me see. And I'm like, yes, over there I do design, I work, I do my stuff, but I need to talk here with these people about that I have to leave. So I talked to them like, you know what, I have to leave. And they told me like, no, the project is coming. It's coming tomorrow. And then I'm like, sorry, I can't stay. I'm already stay here for almost a week, and I haven't done anything, and you're paying me. So you guys are paying me, and it's not fair for you, and it's not fair for me. So I'm gonna move on, and I'm gonna pursue something that I was looking for. So from a week, it's been 10 years now.
Wow.
From another extra week, I've been 10 years now working for Fox. Yeah.
A decade. Congratulations. Wow. Smart work, hard work pays off. Mm-hmm. Kudos to you. But it sounded like, from the beginning of your journey of like not being able to afford to go to the college, and then you talking to the college, and then doing an energetic exchange, you took leadership ability, and then you were in a circumstance with your wife and the baby. So then you took another risk. So you're such a leader by taking such great risks, like, of course you're going to be working, and someone from Fox is going to reach to you and want to honor and partake in. I mean, you're talented. Oh my God. Everyone is going to be in the show notes is the website, the Instagram, all of Carlos's social media. So make sure you follow him on every single platform. And the thing about what I just like was just my mind as a spirit, colorful human being. I was just like, my mind was just like, like it's so colorful and vibrant and everything that would excite a human that gets them. It's like the rainbow. It's like, like all the colors are so vibrant. All the artwork, it's so unique and so detailed. I mean, no wonder why like your artwork speaks for yourself, but it's who you are and your soul. And you put all that into your work, and it transmute it energetically. You can definitely pick it up and feel the vibes. But thank you for your talent and sharing some of your story with us. This is amazing. This is so awesome. awesome.
Really appreciate. And okay, so I'm gonna take you to another trip. How I start doing what I do right now. What do you think?
Wait, can I cut corners real quick?
Yes.
Because a lot of times now I know like I have to sign an NDA for everything. So is there anything in the past that you can talk about, like a couple like, oh, I did this, I worked on this, I worked on that we could share? Something that you're proud of. You're like, oh yeah, I worked on that. That was super cool.
I have done so many things that I really like in the different places. One project that I have worked in so many things as a designer.
Yeah, you can list them all, no problem.
Well, I have worked for different movies. One movie that I remember the most because it was so like a special moment in time where I just am here. I'm immersive with so many talents, and it is a great story because now I talk about this a year or 2 years ago with the person. So I'm here working for the Simpsons movie. One of my favorites and I got to work with not directly or directly and indirectly with Matt Groening and the first hand that draws all the Simpsons.
I met him. Matt one time.
Okay. Julius is the right hand that does all the drawings and like approves all the colors and everything. So I'm working with this agency, does all the marketing, and we're doing all the marketing for the Simpsons. And I got to talk with him a few times and everything, and it was an amazing experience, and back and forward and things like that, where you get to know the person, how they work and how perfect they work, and so methodic, and it's crazy. And
it's but it's a place to be respected.
Exactly
detail.
It's
so respected. The art of it and the discipline, like you said, like those are your people because of the discipline.
So time flies by, years passes, and then he works on Fox. He works for Fox. He's still there. And later the years pass, I'm like, I met him in person and we work together now. We work together in Fox. So we were thinking like, remember when this happened and when I was in this agency? And it's like a weird thing because it's a small world, it's a small world because eventually you get to work in things that you never thought, and then you're talking with people that you never thought you're gonna be talking, and then eventually you're again like connected again. And it's that's one of my favorite things about being in here and experiencing these things.
Yeah.
So
and then were you talking about it was Matt or the other guy, the guy?
Julius. So we work together.
Julius what?
Julius Pretiters. Julius Prate. I don't know how to pronounce.
Julius.
Julius Prate.
Sure, his name's on everything, man.
Yes.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's so cool. It's so you're so disconnected, and then you're connected, and then you get closer and closer, and then you're connected, and then you're having dinners together on Friday night, and it's like
exactly.
And it's like people think it's so big, but you're outside of the fishbowl. But then once you're inside, it's like it's like you're in the fishbowl, and then you're like looking out. But like once you're in the fishbowl, it's like everyone's interconnected. Yeah, it's very small. People think it's so big, but it's actually very small. And then you're talented, you're reliable, you have your story, you have your ethics, your morals, your values, your work ethic, your discipline that you mentioned. And then it's a rapport, and they trust you, and they call you back, and they know you're the go-to person.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing how things circulate, and all depends on like you said, like on the work and how dedicated you are, and how dedicated and I love what I do, and I put all my efforts into it. And
cool.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned before I shape-shifted this conversation, you were going to tell like a really cool story. Did you want to share that?
So okay. 7 years ago, that's another big breaking point for me. Kind of like when I came here, I decided that, okay, now I'm going to pursue my dream, like my real dream. I'm already put all the energy into design. I love design and everything, but it's not my full passion. It's like something that I study because it's related to in a way art, but in a different way. So, and that's why I study design. because I was like, okay, my parents don't support me, and they told me like all the time that this is not a career.
They didn't
like
support
doing
you financially, or they didn't support you on a
either way,
psychological level as well.
psychological and financially.
They didn't get it.
No,
So
they didn't get
artist,
like.
they didn't know how to support
No,
you.
like
They didn't know how.
they didn't know how. Like it's
They didn't cheer
culture.
you on. It's like something you had to explain.
Yeah.
Energy draining. Yeah, I get it.
What are you gonna work? So you're gonna graduate. What are you gonna do? Like you're gonna paint. So.
And so many artists, we want that emotional, psychological support from our parents, but they just, and it's like one foot in, one foot out. And it pains us every single time because we want their approval, but they don't know how to give it to us. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I feel you.
Yeah, exactly. So I studied design, which I think was the best decision I could make. So I'm like reflecting on what am I going to do like in the future. Like I'm thinking about 10, 15, 20, 30 years, 40. And I never want to retire. I wanted to keep my legacy until I die. So I love doing design, but I don't want to live my life doing that and eventually work for someone and then get laid off and
build someone else's dream. Build someone else's dream. You want to build your own empire, your own legacy. Totally. I feel you. I love your foresight 20, 30, 40 years from now. So the listener, the viewer, I mean, listen to the psychological strategy of like looking ahead 20, 30, 40 years from now. Like this is magnificent.
So I stuck with my wife and we did this decision of I'm going to open my studio. I'm going to continue working on Fox because that's going to bring me money, but I'm going to invest in building my dream. I don't want to do painting because I think there's so many good artists that paint and does it like beautiful and better than me, but I want to create something different, something unique that blends in between animation and art. So I went into So I got all the TV. Like I'm not gonna spend in different things. So I can have that money. I'm not gonna buy any other car. I'm gonna finish paying my car. Yours too. I'm gonna cut all the phones. I'm gonna not have TVs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna live as base as possible.
Yeah.
In order to support this to see if it works and have a different adventure, because I'm thinking about in the future years,
when you do that, when you cut the inflammation, when you stick to the core of the basics, which in life is all we need is the basics, you starve and you get closer to that hunger of the dream of what you desire. And it feeds you when you can say no, because like energetically on a psychological level, you're saving yourself time and stress and all these other things outside of yourself. And you just simplify by saying no, and you're closer to the bullseye target. I love this. Anyone listening can totally learn from this. I feel ya. I had to unhook from so many things that were just a distraction. And I spent this year just really just unhooking from people on a psychological level, even the closest people to me, like so hard psychological level. And being more of a minimalist, I've been practicing that since 2012, being a minimalist and honoring that art. So please continue. This is genius. Yeah.
And it gets tough when you have kids. Yeah. And when it gets a little tougher because there's so many things that you need to take into consideration. Mm-hmm. And thanks to my wife that supports me and helped me to like make this transition so
nurturing, and supportive of you and your future family. It's awesome. Like she's the backbone of it all, right?
Exactly.
The energetic goodness.
Yeah. So I opened my studio 7 years ago. And then I started like, okay, I need to change everything. The way that I used to think in art. I think in art is a sculpture is in a traditional way to make it a new media way. So I started like playing with laser cut. Like I also like carpentry. So I like wood, and I started like building stuff now in my studio. So I spend till now, I think I spend every weekend, every holiday, when people it's having fun, I'm in my studio. That's where I have fun. I don't watch TV. I don't watch anything. I just focus on my dream, and that's being paid off. Like I start building now. Start playing like there with projections, and I start buying like equipment, and I start buying like things that I needed to in order to make my work. And I start buying screens, LED screens, and everything. So I start creating and building sculptures with screens and using 3D print, using laser cutting, using my tools to do carpentry and building. And now I create. It's like blending between the physical and digital art, doing installation.
And to break it down, thank you. And then to break it down, you took actionable steps and you invested in yourself. You invested in your dream. You invested in your artist. Because I spent a lot of my years as a youngster, I thought someone else I was gonna get an investor. I was gonna get a VC. I was gonna get someone to invest in me. And I went around so long being extroverted, meeting all these multi-billionaires and millionaires and all these guys and all these people, wanting them to invest in me. None of it. One person, maybe one time through all the freaking years. They just want a good time. They want you around, blah, 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 blah. But when I started taking actionable steps and started like saying no to those things, and I invested in myself, I took actionable steps, even if it's one step, if it's one penny, one coin, or it doesn't even have to be money. If it's just your time, you're investing your time into yourself, not selfishly, but for self-love, like all those things, you went and got this, all those things that you went and got. Like, look at your journey you shared with us to be able to get those things, to purchase those things, but then you reinvested on an energetic, psychological level, financial level. You reinvested all that for the next 40 years of your life. So, I mean, what the viewer here, the listener, I mean, this is just a beautiful journey that you're sharing with us. Thank you. To take actionable steps now, like it doesn't matter how old or young you are, like no one is going to invest in you as much as you. So this is very, very important. And you learned this at a very young age. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
No, thank you. And yeah, I think you understand and appreciate all those things and those sacrifices. And it takes a lot of effort for winning a little bit of things. And it takes years to overcome and being, and it's a journey, and you have to love that journey. You have to be like, you have to embrace that journey. And things don't happen in 1 day, 2 days, in a month, 2 months, a year. Things happen for a reason, but it takes years of putting the time and putting the
And it's your life path. I mean, you're excited, you're ambitious. You want it to happen now, and you're so excited and you want to bring people on board, and you want them to be a part of what you're doing because you know you have good ethics, morals, and values. You know you're going to put amazing art into the world, but that's your flame and your fire that keeps you going through the journey. Like you said, it's not going to happen overnight. But when things do happen overnight, it's because you've invested all those times and taken those steps to make it happen.
And then you start
dreams into action.
Exactly. And then you start to making decisions on who you want to be around too. Like a lot of, like, you start being like more picky and things and more methodic and more. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been beautiful. I wouldn't change anything. I probably will probably make better decisions in things if I know that I have to. But since everything it's so new and everything it's just experimenting, I think it's beautiful. Everything. I will do it again and 3 times more.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very cool. Very cool. Cool. So let's pivot. So now you are officially an NFT artist, and not only are you an NFT artist, but you've sold like a lot of your work on Nifty Gateway. So explain that process as an NFT artist.
So I'm gonna tell you a little bit of the background to take you to the NFT. I'm doing my art. I'm exhibiting in galleries. I'm exhibiting in art fairs. Here in LA, in Miami, Art Basel, everywhere.
Physical art galleries. And digital and physical, or are we just talking about physical right now?
Physical and then digital too. Like I did a few virtual galleries too in Santa Fe, and then here in LA, another virtual that just happened last year in November. So but from 2018, probably 17, I've been doing all physical galleries and everything, meeting people, meeting galleries, connecting with collectors and stuff like that. So I'm moving my stuff, and also like it's for me, and probably for every digital artist, was in a way hard to get into galleries, and especially because they were thinking like, okay, we don't want technology involved, because if we're thinking about the future, like if this breaks and I'm having like think about this, like the same way of people restoration of art, in the future there's going to be restoration of technology. It's going to be work the same, and the most important is the data that lives in it. So I'm convincing everyone and sharing my ideas and everything with everything, investing to like going into the different shows and putting my installations and stuff like that. So meeting people was the best. And I got to the point where last year I got canceled 3 installations here in LA and 1 in Santa Fe. And I'm like, through COVID. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, like this year, everything that I invest, everything that I put, what is going to happen? Like I'm going to put it on wait. My studio is going to be on wait and I'm going to keep paying for this. I got introduced in the crypto art, like in NFTs in 2019 or 19, I don't remember, with CryptoPunks and with the gallery, the Cas Gallery that they promote and they were selling the CryptoPunks. And then we talk, I meet them, they share their stories, and I'm like blown away with how the NFT and crypto art works. And I'm like, yes, this is the thing. Like this is what I have.
Dream. It's an artist's
dream. Every artist's dream.
Minded. We're like, yes.
This is just gonna, and organically happen that all those installations didn't happen. I got an invitation to do a project with Mel Wolf. I don't know if you know them. Mel Wolf. It's a museum that does interactive, experiential. It's in Santa Fe. They opened another in Las Vegas, and they are opening another in Denver. It's very well known.
Send me the link, and I'll put it in the show notes, so the viewer and the listener can definitely check it out.
Yes. So I got an invitation to do. They were invited to do a piece for Burning Man virtual.
Very cool.
For the Burning Man. So they do like the Burning Man virtual, where you have the avatar, you go inside, you go to places you enjoy with the music, and you and Mel Wolf has their own installation, a cathedral, and inside the cathedral you go inside and invite four artists that are digital artists to create their room. So I was super happy for that invitation. We make it work. And then suddenly I got a call from it's a collector, curator, galleries that also met him before, but also works with Nifty Gateway. And when first I showed him my work, he was like, oh, this is really cool. He likes it and everything, but he didn't saw where that can fit my work in that time. But when Nifty came out, he was like, oh, this guy is perfect for that. So I got the invitation. We did a drop, and that was like, for some reason, all the work that I did before landed to this time, and
wow.
And we did the first drop, and it was a success and sold out.
That's so cool. That's so cool. And then for Nifty Gateway, which wallet do you use?
We use MetaMask.
I use MetaMask too. I use MetaMask few. So I just, as you know, I did my first drop on OpenSea. I was going to do Rarible, but I did OpenSea. So OpenSea
is great.
Yeah.
It's one of the best. I think you did a great job there and picking there. Also amazing. I don't know about Rotable. I'll probably wait. Rotable. I don't know if I think if you're in OpenSea, you're perfect.
Yeah.
Stick there.
Yeah.
And if you have the opportunity to go to foundation, eventually, let's do a foundation.
Yeah.
I got an invitation. I haven't dropped anything, but maybe we can do something together and drop something in foundation.
Okay. Cool. And then
foundation
you know Emerson, right? Yeah. So he just dropped his piece today, I think. He just dropped two. Yeah, and an art collector found him and bought one of his pieces for like $300,000 a few days ago, and then that was his first one, and then he just dropped another one.
Oh my God! Yeah. You see, it's crazy. I love what is happening right now. We're living in the perfect time, in the perfect moment. Us as a digital artist, we've been putting digital art for 10, 15 years just for the sake of doing it. I used to do art and just to create conversation, just to show my art to the world and create conversation in Flickr when Flickr was a thing, in MySpace when MySpace was a thing, and
you're
just to
a clown. I get an email every once in a while. I have photos like on Flickr.
Yeah. I have art probably. I'm gonna check later.
I still have an account there. Yeah,
just because
it's hilarious. Flickr. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah, I mean, your colors are just amazing. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so my spirit. I'm obsessed. But let's do it. I growing up in the Detroit EDM world, I make beats. I produce electronic beats, in Ableton. That's the software I use.
Me too.
And you too?
Mm-hmm.
You make music too?
Yeah, I have an APC40, and then I connect it to Ableton, and then Audition, and I create my and then I record some birds, some natural things, and then I distort it a little bit, and then I create I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. But I love also listening to other people because it gives some for my next drop, I'm doing this collaboration with a guy that I like because it gives you another
portal.
Exactly.
Energetic portal. It's and then in the collection, do you know how many pieces you two are doing together?
In this collection that is upcoming, just one piece that is a physical digital NFT.
Cool.
Yeah. And then I have a collaboration with a 3D artist too, that we're doing like this environment together, all the animation together, where we're just sharing files and stuff and creating something.
And then for my everyday, I do voiceovers. So if you're doing an animation thing and you need a cartoon Katie or a cartoon voice, I can do the voiceover for the piece, right? I'm releasing the whole collection from A Lover's Fairy Tale, my new poetry book, which is available on Amazon. So that's poetry coupled with the original Polaroid that was discontinued in 2001. So it's super rare, limited edition. And it's I'm the first official artist to drop. It's a revolutionary moment to actually drop a poem on love coupled with the original Polaroid. So it's going to be 11 separate NFTs, but as a collection. And then I want to do another collection of just voices, since I do voiceovers.
That's amazing. How excited you are.
I'm so excited.
It feels like an explosion of happiness. Yes. I feel you. Yeah.
It's who I am and how I think. Everyone's just so linear with one thing. And I'm art on art on art. And I can curate, and I know how to curate certain things and put them together. So I feel now it's the world's finally catching up to what's already been going on here. And I'm sure you feel the same way as well, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. We're on fire. Yes.
We're in this.
Yeah.
And we're the legendary artists. What? Very cool. Very cool. So Yo Nikki Scorpio. I don't know if I sent you his Instagram. I'll send you his Instagram. But all of his beats that he makes, we make music together under the Sophisticated Psychos, and also our production of, videos and things we do. But Yeah, we'll talk and we'll do like a beautiful connection and collaboration together on Nifty Gateway or,
Or foundation.
Yeah. We could do it there.
I haven't done anything in foundation, and I wanted to try. I wanted to mean something there. So that'll be something cool to do.
Yeah. And they're good for videos too. They're good for videos. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love foundation because it's it's through invitation, which the people that goes into, it's like, I want this guy or this person to be in it.
Yeah.
And it's not like as probably as like super rare or nifty, that is like, it's only curated and that's it. And they're like super strict and like, but it's like, I don't know, like it's not like Mintable or others that it's hard to see where you are. Like the traffic is not so traffic. It's like, it's So I think that the OpenSea or foundation will be great.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then, did you hear about Tron? Tron, Tron?
What's that?
Tron. So, Lindsay Lohan, she sold a piece for $7,000.
Oh, yeah.
And then it flipped right away for $56,000 or $57,000. Well, I was just on Clubhouse with her the other day in an NFT room. Oh my God, to 6 a.m. to Friday morning. But I was in front of 300 people. I was on the panel for hours. We were just with the community talking and stuff like that. And Lindsay was on, and so she's going to be. She did hers, but she's doing a bunch more, and she's doing it with Justin, who owns Tron, and it's Tron Foundation on Instagram. But it's free for the artist and for the talent, for the person to put it on Tron. There's no gas fees. So
wow.
Some other places, for people who don't know, there's something called gas fees, but on OpenSea, you don't pay the gas fee. And on Tron, you don't pay the gas fee. So I wanted to release a collection. I'm going to release a collection on there. We have Couples Therapy. It's a web series I created during the pandemic. So I'm going to release in their 5 to 8 minute episodes. So I'm going to release all of season 1. There's 8 episodes. I'm going to release that on Tron, and then season 2 is about to go on the Sophisticated Psychos YouTube channel. And then we already shot season 3, but I curated and produced all of that, not through the union, SAG union. I just did it as an improv actor because I didn't want to jump through hoops of having other people involved. So I did what you're doing, minimizing all the tangles and all the loopholes, so no one can say anything except for me and the person I created it with, my partner Nikki Scorpio. Mm-hmm. So it's like I can go put these on Tron, and I don't have to worry about music rights because we did all the music, I produced it, we edited it, like all that stuff. So that's the cool thing about doing it as a collaborative collective and bringing power to the artists and back to humanity, to the humans, getting rid of the banking system, getting rid of all the passwords. It's such a headache. It's like 47 passwords. You don't have to remember passwords because you log in with your SEED seed phrase. You're the only one to know it.
I know.
You don't take a photo of it anywhere ever. You don't take a photo of it. It's you have to memorize it. And then you have your seed phrase. And then when you go to like buy something, if you're going to buy, you just click, and that's your signature to click it. It's so much better in the new world. And it's so exciting because I'm an empath. And as an artist, like for me to like, and I'm like, I've never been diagnosed like ADHD because there's no test you could do for it. I've been to doctors. I've had my MRI brain scan. I did like all these scans to find out like, is my blood flow good? Is the oxygen level in my brain good? Because I have like 17 different things going on, and I see it 0 to hero, but it's called the Putnam Theory. Hillary Putnam, he's from Chicago and he passed away a few years ago. But the Putnam Theory is you have these ideas in your mind, and most people have these ideas. So according to Dr. Joe Dispenza, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day, and 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts. 90% of those thoughts are negative. So you're firing and wiring these negative thoughts. Well, in the NFT world and being artists, we're always like creating new ideas and saying yes. So we're firing and wiring explorations of goodness, but we have to learn to unfire and unwire the psychological trauma, generational trauma, what we were taught, the old energetic grids that just collapsed during the pandemic because they weren't working, which was a detoxification on a psychological, physical, environmental level for the planet, because the planet is a beast. And it's so sensitive, but it heals itself. And so if you see One Big Rock with Will Smith, oh my God, it's on Netflix. One Big Rock is amazing. But circling back around, we were talking about the seed phrase. We were talking about, what were we talking about before I went off on Dr. Joe Dispenza?
You take me with you.
The seed phrase and doing your signature, not remembering all the passwords, being a part of the new world. I lost it. Too bad we can't rewind. Anyways, it'll come back to me.
It will. Now, because I'm the same way. And then I try to do 50 things at the same time. And I'm like this. 50 things, that's it.
I was like, oh, I have these 17 train tracks going on. So the Hillary Putnam theory, a man from Chicago, the Hillary Putnam theory is you have an idea, and most people have an idea and then it just stays there. But to actually have those ideas, those thoughts go into a thought form, turns into these foam pads or this microfoam or this bracelet. It materializes. So to have a thought, most people just keep it into the brain and they don't actually actualize, dreams into actions, things we were talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
You're amazing.
Hillary Putnam. Look up the Putnam theory.
I'm going to check because I'm like you, all over the place.
But I'm the kind of person where I have an idea, I take action on it. Most people don't.
Yeah.
I'm like,
no, I have to. Like, to me, like, even I struggle to sleep because I have to, and then I'm about to sleep, and then suddenly this idea came to me, and then I'm wake up and I go in and type it out or do it and type it or grab my phone and then put it there, and then again go try to sleep, and then I'm like just thinking into that idea again back. And then send another, or I'm working on something, and then I'm working on another thing, and then I'm working on another thing, because they're just like flying and here and there, like these things that I have to grab everywhere in order to, like, if not disappears, and then I don't find it never back.
Yeah, so chasing the excitement, it's what we live for, and people try to tell you not to do that, but it's like you're disciplined in other areas. But when it comes to the creativity, like I was in Hong Kong when I wrote Juliet. It's the 11th piece in my book. And when I did Juliet, I was sleeping and I woke up. I just my whole body just boom, came up like that. I looked over. It was like 3:33 or something. It was like 3 something in the morning. And I just grabbed a pen and paper next to my hotel nightstand bed. And I just wrote Juliet verbatim, boom, 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 and boom. It just like that. And that's how I wrote all my poetry pieces. It just came to me, and you just have to grab it while it comes through you,
Exactly.
Or it might not be there in the morning. It won't be there.
Oh no, it won't. There's instances that it happened. Like, I'm gonna remind in the morning because I'm so tired already. Like my brain is not working, but I have this idea and I'm gonna leave it. And then in the morning I wake up and what I was thinking that it was so fantastic. I remember it was so fantastic and it was perfect and it was going to explode the world and it was going to be so. I just think that where is it? I can't find it. Now that thought is not gonna come back ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like so frustrated.
Yeah.
But now I learned that every time that those things happen, because it happens a couple times, you better put it on paper. You better do something, even because if not, it's gone forever.
Yeah. So wrapping up here, for the NFT community, for people getting into the new space that's so next level, people are hearing about it for the first time. What are some tips and wise words, encouragement that you can share with other fellow humans and artists to get into the spaces in a safe way?
I think the safest way, and one of the good things about now, is that we have different hubs, social media, that you can use in your favor to create your community and use that as an action. And build your community, be present, keep working on whatever your idea is, and just make it happen. Make it happen.
You build your community on Instagram, anywhere else?
Twitter is very good. I have Twitter since 2009, right?
Oh.
I hate it. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it.
Me too.
So in December, I went back.
Yeah.
I went back because Clubhouse.
Me too.
I was obsessed with NFTs, but now I'm obsessed with NFTs and Clubhouse and community. So bring your community. If you have the opportunity to be in Clubhouse, utilize that, because all the entrepreneurs, all the collectors, all the artists that are interested and are passionate about this technology, and you need to utilize and be there. And have your portfolio in your Instagram, make conversations in Twitter, go communicate in Clubhouse, and create your community and help others, ask others. I think that's the biggest tool.
Yeah.
If you want to get into NFTs, that's the biggest tool right now to utilize to succeed into NFTs. And man, we are in a great time. I tell you again, like in the best time ever to do a change. Like, I'm so happy. I'm so humble. I have so much energy in me that I want to explode. And I really, really, really looking forward for the next thing right now, which is NFTs and what is coming.
Yeah. So in the next week or two, let's do our first room together. We'll do a room together in Clubhouse about NFTs and art, and we'll just have a conversation there and with people in the community. That could be really cool. And that's really neat. And then I'm just wondering, what's one of your favorite hashtags on Instagram?
My favorite hashtags on NFT community.
I love that one.
It's just like it's like, if you like this and you're interested, that's the best hashtag.
Yeah.
That's the best. Like, to bring people with you and grab attention and keep a conversation.
Yeah. Cool. Very cool. So,
tell me yours.
Oh gosh. I mean, I'm going to say NFT community. I mean, that's my number one now. That's my number one. That's my number one for sure. I think NFT community as well. NFT artists. Like
artists.
I just changed my bio, like NFT artist, because I'm like officially NFT artist. So I'm so proud.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. And it's like doing something for the first time and to like coin it and own it. Literally, it's like, it's really, really empowering. And it's a really, like you said, it's an exciting time. Last words for anyone listening that you want to share on an NFT level, on a human level, as an artist, like any, as a father, family member, like anything you want to say, a quote, last words of wisdom.
I think don't get discouraged if things don't come your way like right away. And if you see like NFTs or there's a trend right now, and you think like this is going to change your life in a day or 2 days or in a week, it's like everything. Like, you have a great tool, you have a great technology, but you need to do your work. And the work, it's making actions. And the only way to make action is go on outside, connect, build your community, and do everything you can in your hands to succeed into what you want.
Yeah, do great work, do great creations.
Do great creations.
Start there. So it's the inner work, right? To bring out all the goodness. Cool. Thank you so much for joining us. And I would definitely love to have you back on in the near future and celebrate more of your artwork and your journey and your NFTs and everything. If you would definitely like to come back on in the near future, that'd be awesome.
Katie, it's my pleasure. I appreciate you, and thanks for inviting me. You are amazing, and I love to be here with you and really appreciate.
Yeah, cool. So thank you so much for listening to She's All Over the Place. Please subscribe if you're not subscribing already. And to my thousands of followers, thank you so much, subscribers. I appreciate you for being here, for showing up, for being a part of my journey, honoring other humans and artists and, and making an impact in the world with ethics, morals, and values, and not selling out our dreams for the bigger, better deal or for the illusion of what could be. be, staying true to who you are and being a part of the discovery of why we're here. So a couple call to actions. I would definitely love for you to subscribe. Like I said, if you're not already, definitely look at the links below, follow Carlos, and check out his NFTs on Nifty Gateway. And definitely, I just signed up for the Patreon recently. So there'll be a link in the show notes. So definitely subscribe there and be a part of my community. And we'll see you next week. Love you so much. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Kitty, over and out.